Buenos dias to this lazy Sunday Cito episode. The stage is set for the altcoin season to finally begin. Jerome Powell was indicating that rate cuts are coming in September, which could be the final piece that would unleash a true alt season in crypto. Besides a few outliers like, of course, Solana, of course, Hyperliquid, there are a couple of altcoins that have been running and are in their own bull run, but the vast majority of all altcoins, including all Cosmos coins, is still lagging behind. We are still far away from all-time highs, but I of course believe that eventually Cosmos is going to catch a bid collectively as an ecosystem led by Atom, but then also a lot of the new generation Cosmos coins, some of which are still going to launch. Some of them have launched recently, like Babylon, for example, or Nillion, but collectively, I think Cosmos is going to catch a bid, and the list looks very different than it did 2021, 2022. There are a lot of new builders, new teams, and you always have to go and adapt to the new market conditions and market environment. But with alt season likely approaching, Q4 is usually also a very strong quarter in mind, I think now is a good time to do initiatives like Cito Perps Wars, which gives you the opportunity to also earn an additional altcoin budget, or to just show that you are the best trader and get even paid for it. So we're proud to announce that together with Dydx, we are running the Cito Perps Wars trading competition. The first time we're doing this, we're very excited for it, and we're going to enter the registration phase tomorrow. So there will be a registration phase, and then we're going to start the competition officially on August the 30th, which is next Saturday. So you have only a couple of days to register. If you are a professional and experienced perps trader, then sign up for this competition, and you might actually be eligible to win any of that prize money. And the chances for you to actually win some prize money here are very, very high, especially if you are a good trader, because we're measuring P&L here. So by TVL, we're going to measure the top traders in this competition. You need to be specifically registered for that trade competition. Prices are paid out in USDC, and the most profitable trader is going to get 1,500 USDC. And in fact, we're running two competitions. So this is a bi-weekly competition that runs for 1 month, and after 2 weeks, everything will be reset, and there will be a new registration, and then we will be able to try your luck again. So you can actually win up to 3K USDC in the next month if you are a good trader. And big shout out to Dydx to partner with us. We're very excited. So the total prize pool is 4K for the first 2 weeks, and then another 4K for the second 2 weeks. So total prize pool, 8,000 USDC. And if you are a good trader, then now is your time to show. Well, if you are not a trader, but you're rather a creator, a content creator, then you also have the chance, a very, very high chance, to win money with our ongoing Cito Earn Campaign. And this campaign is all about Cosmos, the Cosmos Hub, Atom ecosystem, and anything that's related to it. So you have until August 27th only. So that's only a few days left to submit your content. It's all explained here also on our website. And if you go here on Cito Earn on our website, cito.zone, you'll see the ongoing campaign. And there we currently have a 1,200 USDC prize pool plus 50 atoms. So yeah, also very, very high chances for you to win something here if you submit quality content that has real organic engagement, reach, and no matter what platform, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, whatever it is, submit your content, create quality content, and reach real people to onboard them into Cosmos. That is really our mission here. The same counts also for the trade competition. Our mission here is also to onboard traders to the Dydx ecosystem. So even for traders on Hyperliquid, for traders on other DEXs, perp DEXs, this might be your chance to get paid for using a different perps exchange if you are not a trader on Dydx yet. If you are, then even better, because you already are familiar with Dydx, and you will have the chance to get paid and incentivized on top of your trading activities. Now, going back to my opening statement, which was that alt season is approaching, this is probably one of the most, if not the single most important chart to look at, the total 3 market cap in crypto, which means all cryptocurrencies excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both at all-time highs. We're seeing a slight macro relief with a lot of diplomatic, hopefully positive results coming out very, very shortly with the Russia-Ukraine situation, with the Israel-Gaza situation. Hopefully, not just, of course, for the sake of the charts, but also for the sake of human lives, for the sake of everyone's safety and prosperity. I really hope that those wars and tragedies are ending. But we're seeing that on a macro level that is obviously also going to impact the financial markets, and with it also risk on assets like crypto. We're seeing a more clearer regulatory framework. We're seeing stablecoins launching left and right. We're seeing large institutions and organizations also entering crypto with Stripe launching Tempo, their own L1 app chain. We're seeing governments embracing crypto, buying Bitcoin, BlackRock buying Bitcoin like crazy, and Ethereum. So the stage is really set. And if you have been around until now, I feel like the sentiment is in kind of disbelief, but disbelief in a way that no one believes in alt season anymore. Everyone believes in Bitcoin, now Ethereum since 2 weeks. Before that, everyone was bearish on Ethereum as well. Well, now everyone's bullish Ethereum, bearish altcoins, but that means for me the exact opposite. We now have to be extremely bullish on altcoins, and we need to keep stacking those. And if you look at this chart, which obviously is diluted massively because we have a huge oversupply of new altcoins that have hit the market over the past 2 years, I would say. So the broader market tide in the altcoin sector is much, much higher. And still we're seeing a lot of the altcoins far away from the all-time highs. But it is also important to say here that the recent rally has been mostly institutional driven, right? If you look at the ETF flows on Bitcoin and Ethereum, then this is where the money comes from. It is not coming from retail. Retail is still pretty much sidelined. There's no new people coming in, but eventually they will. And where will they go? Well, they're not going to buy Bitcoin at an all-time high. They're not going to buy Ethereum for a 40% gain. They are going to bet on altcoins. They are going to bet on strong narratives, strong founders, noisy teams that probably are also scams. So unfortunately, a lot of people will also get burned. But here on this channel, we are focused on the Cosmos ecosystem, which is a mid-curve, fundamental, idealistic ecosystem that sticks to concept of sovereignty, interoperability, and this new direction of interoperable finance, where also Atom is headed, which has been a chain that's around for many, many years through the worst times, through founder drama, survived everything, is still listed on all major exchanges, decent trade volumes, and is still there, right? And I think that alone, survival, I've said this over and over again, surviving a crypto is the single most underrated achievement. And we, as cosmonauts, have survived. Me as Crypto Cito here on this channel, of course, the past year has not been easy, but we're still here. We haven't let anyone go because of financial reasons, and it's definitely not been easy over the past year, I will admit that. But I think bullish times and prosperous times are ahead of us. So that's that. So this chart really is the most important one to look at. And I think that eventually altcoins alone we're currently at a $1 trillion market cap for all altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. But at one point, this will explode. This will go to 2, 3, 4, 5 trillion, maybe even 10 trillion at some point, right? I think that is very, very important to be positioned in quality altcoins. Of course, Cosmos is not the only quality ecosystem. There are quality ecosystems out there, like the Solanas, and new ones as well, right? So we'll see where this is going, which ecosystems will catch a bid, but we're all here for it, and we have sticked through those times. Also, big shout out to my man Jack Sempolin, who originally onboarded me into Cosmos, explained me IBC even before IBC launched, so forever grateful for that. Now, after the acquisition of Strangelove, his company, by Ondo Finance, he now joined Ondo Finance as the head of product, or on the product team, I think head of product though. And Ondo now has something cooking, and that is coming on September 3rd. And that week, we also might have some other large announcements in the rest of the ecosystem. But Ondo is launching their tokenized stocks that are coming to their chain, or currently it's not yet on a chain, but eventually Ondo will also have its own chain built on Cosmos, of course. So with that acquisition that Ondo did, strategic acquisition of Strangelove, now Jack is also helping them to build the Cosmos chain. Hopefully they're going to be fully Cosmos aligned. We're going to see how that plays out. But on the product side, they also are launching these tokenized stocks. Markets are going global. So Ondo Finance, definitely one to watch, and also give a follow to Jack Sempolin. Hopefully we can do another splitting Atom. I guess now we have to rename it. But yeah, hopefully we can do another live stream with Jack. Let me know if you want to see that. If you want, to do a live stream with Jack and get the latest out of him. Now, I also want to bring up two ecosystem projects in Cosmos. First off, Neutron, that has been shifting a lot in their plans around a year ago, when they also decided to migrate away from replicated security on the Cosmos Hub. So Neutron was the first chain to launch with shared security on the Cosmos Hub, secured by Atom. Now they have migrated away. And I remember in the very early days, even before they launched, I asked the question to Spade. I said, like, man, what is the guarantees that you guys are not going to abandon shared security at some point? And back then, of course, the ecosystem and everything was a lot different. But now, 2 years, 3 years later, it happened. Neutron is now its own L1, which I think also is probably has been the right decision. We're also proud validators on Neutron with Cito, and we're also supportive of Neutron. I did an interview with Spade here on my balcony a couple of months ago, where we got a full update. But now Spade shared a new progress update, which is actually very spicy and very interesting. So they are executing on their North Star, which is a paper he published on March 27th. The Mercury upgrade that just happened also right after I interviewed him here. I think it was in May or something. But yeah, ecosystem metrics are going up, which is very, very nice. Also, ecosystem TVL currently at around, what is that, $70 million, something like that. Perps volumes also, considering the market environment, quite decent. And here's a snapshot of the kind of current roadmap, what they have been focused on, what they have been doing. Basically, this is all you got to see if you want to know the latest on Neutron. First, they left interchain security to optimize for DeFi, faster block times, more sovereignty, and more focus on the core product. Then they also focus on assets people really want, which is a work in progress. And the Bitcoin Summer is one of those initiatives because they are actually now fully focused on BTC as an asset. Bitcoin Summer is coming very, very shortly. They have announced their launch partners like Babylon, Lombard, Solve, the biggest Bitcoin ecosystem players out there. Also, they have announced Max BTC. We covered it already in the last video. That is a yield-bearing Bitcoin BTC derivative, basically. So Max BTC is coming. Then also Super Vaults, we talked about in the last video as well. Decent APRs there right now with concentrated liquidity. And then two interesting things here. They launched DNTRN, Drop Neutron, Drop Protocol, the liquid staking protocol that is native to Neutron. Also is going to launch their token very, very soon, I hope, because it's been a very long time in the making. But Drop coming very soon. Currently has 7 million in liquidity with new revenue streams that are coming. And the last one I would mention here is the mobile first, because that's something that Cosmos has really lagging behind big time, is the mobile experience, and Neutron really wants to focus on that. But yeah, they are still on that. So definitely give it a read. There's some more depth in this article here that Spade shared, or Avril shared, also that they have taken over the Cosmoverse development, which very recently got even more relevant with the passing of Proposal 1007. The last video I made, I talked about it. Is highly relevant to all Atom holders as well, because now Hadron Labs, the company behind Neutron, is in charge of Cosmoverse development. They received funding from the Interchain Foundation as well to do so. And there will be probably some more economic ties between Neutron and the Cosmos Hub now, as both are sovereign layer 1 blockchains and both have permissionless Cosmoverse, which means Rust-based smart contracts. Quick one on Polaris, which I want to also highlight here. If you have not used it yet, then check out Polaris. Track and trade everything. It is a very, very nice and cool interface. I really like it. And you have everything at one glance here. It is the crypto token portal, so to speak. There's also now a new segment here that you can also customize for yourself. You can also just come here, trade your favorite assets. And I think I really like this layout as well here. You can also, do some nice chart analysis here. But yeah, that's Polaris, which also is going to progress further and further, also with their mobile experience, which again is very important for specifically traders. And we'll see where this goes, and also how much of an impact that will have for the Osmo token, which you can see by default is listed here that you can trade into. So you can by default buy Osmo here. Hopefully people will do it. Speaking of the Osmo token, the Osmo token for the first time is now deflationary. So Johnny Wild saying Osmosis has now entered its sustainable era, which means that the yield it generates on-chain protocol revenue outpaces the inflation through burn mechanisms. And this has been one of the tokenomics milestone that was achieved. So net deflation for the first time, very interesting. To be honest, I am still a little bit in limbo about Osmosis. Of course, I still hold all my tokens. My Osmo token holdings are at an all-time high in tokens, not in dollars, of course, because the price has been destroyed absolutely. But we'll see whether Osmo can pull a major comeback. Because I think with a strong Atom, like if Atom were to kind of go to $6, $7, $8, I think Osmo would even grow faster. It would go up faster, right? It's like almost a leverage bet on Atom, because it's the closest ecosystem token to Atom, I would say. But yeah, I'm also not sure moving forward how much of Polaris's narrative fits into that. Then they also have this kind of Bitmosis narrative going on. And then they have the DeFi Hub narrative. So they have a lot of different narratives, and I'm not sure which one is going to stick the most and if they're all aligned. I also haven't really heard from Sunny a lot, to be honest, in a kind of recent months. He didn't reply my DMs. Sunny, if you're watching this, please check your DMs with me. I kind of wanted to get in touch. But yeah, we'll see. Still bullish Osmo, but yeah, this is definitely a good thing to see that the on-chain economics are catching on, and hopefully this will also reflect in price. You saw, remember like a couple of weeks ago, I said I bought some more Osmo at around 14 cents. This might have been a generation bottom. I'm not sure. So we'll keep monitoring the situation on Osmosis and the Osmo coin, and also keep an eye on Neutron's new strategy and their progress and focus. We'll see if the Bitcoin summer campaign, Max BTC, or any of the other things are going to cause a rally on the NTRN token as well. Now, finally, two quick alpha things. Number one, always keep an eye on the Cosmoverse speakers tab, because we have landed some very, very high profile speakers. I'm very, very pleased. We haven't publicly announced that. Rob is probably going to be a bit mad at me, but I'm going to give you this alpha here on this lazy Sunday. Keep an eye on that page. We're going to announce more speakers. And you can currently also still get your ticket at 69 USD. And you can actually also buy this with Atom. So you can come here, connect your wallet, and you can not only connect your Kepler wallet, also Leap. And in the checkout, you also have the option to connect your Cosmos Station wallet. One not so bullish breaking news that I also just discovered is the fact that this address is currently unbonding 3.75 million atoms, which is around $20 million, something like that, but almost half of their stack here. 4.5 they still have delegated, and that address belongs to All in Bits, the company by Jaquan, who forked the Cosmos Hub a couple of months ago. That is also now in mainnet. And yeah, I'm not sure if that is related to the price drop that we've seen. Maybe there's a way to convert that into Atom 1 or Atom tokens. Maybe they also just need to secure one way. Maybe something else. I have zero clue on that. I think they have also not made a public announcement about it. But yeah, that's maybe also one thing to keep an eye on, always the on-chain activity. Last week we talked about Figment that unstaked 5.8 million atoms. Now we're seeing All in Bits unstaking millions of atoms. But yeah, that's just an observation that I've made. Let me know your final thoughts right now. I'm going to leave you with that and look forward to welcoming you all at the Cito Perps Wars competition. Also, submit your content for the Cito Earn Campaign around the Cosmos Hub and Atom. And if you want to understand more what the Cosmos Hub and Atom is up to right now under this new leadership with the ICL led by Mac and Barry, then check out this interview. We did a full recap here, Mac on Flipside Crypto, on their institutional direction and push, the revenue and monetization strategies. Very, very important. Does Atom still have hope? I think that's a question a lot of people are asking themselves right now. And this recap of that recent interview is probably going to give some answers, because Atom is not kind of ignoring or lagging behind on this whole institutional trend. In fact, it's doubling down in that direction. So definitely something for you to be aware, and we'll see what comes out of this.